years since the day known as Axe Handle Saturday, the day a large group of white men filled the streets of downtown and what was then Hammock Park, attacking any black person they saw. They had axe handles, bats, and clubs. They were mad about a sit-in protest that was being held. The Jacksonville Historical Society released this video of that day for the first time last year. Now, former Jacksonville Sheriff Nat Glover joins us here this morning. So first off, thank you for being here.
Glad to be here, Brianna.
Absolutely. So I know you saw this firsthand personally. You walked into the chaos after you were leaving your job downtown. Tell me a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, I was 17 years old and I had a weekend job, still in high school. And after my work, I walked out of Morrison cafeteria that day because actually our manager had said we all had to leave work earlier than we would have ordinarily left and just get out of town. Well, my chores allowed me to leave, but had to be later because I had to do some of the last things that needed to be done. And when I walked out, I met a mob of white men with axe handles, and they quickly surrounded me and was actually taunting me with the axe handles, and I ran to a police officer for help, and he indicated that I needed to get out of town before they killed me. And I ran, and I was terrified. But it was a life-changing event for me because I was so afraid and so embarrassed because I ran. It changed my life. And from that day to this day, I said to myself, I would never run away from another fight. And that allowed me to be a person who would take risk. And I've been able to do that, and it certainly helped me in my profession as a law enforcement officer.
Right, and I was just...
Thank you, Hayden. Today marks 5 years since a mass shooting at the former Landing in Jacksonville. The shooting happened during a video game tournament, leaving 2 people dead and 11 others injured. The shooter was later found dead after turning the gun on himself. The Landing was closed and demolished the following year.
So thank you all for joining us this evening. Tonight I stand side by side with our law enforcement partners, our mayor, city leaders, to share the heartbreaking news that Jacksonville has suffered the loss of 3 precious lives at the hands of an active shooter. This afternoon, a little after 1 p.m., an individual we have not yet officially identified entered a Dollar Tree in the Newtown area of Jacksonville, outfitted with a tactical vest, armed with an AR-style rifle and a handgun. Then the shooter killed 3 people before turning the gun on himself, taking his own life. Other than the 3 individuals killed and the shooter himself, there are no additional people who suffered gunshot wounds. We are not identifying the deceased victims at this time, but I can tell you that there are 2 male victims and 1 female victim. All of the deceased victims are black. Multiple units from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office responded to this active shooter scene, as did members of Jacksonville Fire Rescue, our mayor, and city leaders. We are still in the very early stages of this investigation, so there's a lot of information that we don't know at this time. I will share with you the information that I have been able to verify. The shooter was believed to have resided in Clay County with his parents. He was involved in a 2016 domestic call in Clay County with no arrest. In 2017, he did have a Baker Act. We know that at 11:39 a.m. today, Sheriff Cook gave us information that he left Clay County, headed to Jacksonville. At 1:18 p.m., he texted his father and told his father to check his computer. At 1:53 p.m., the shooter's family members called the Clay County Sheriff's Office. By that time, he had already begun shooting in Jacksonville. The Clay County Sheriff's Office, who has been assisting our agency with this investigation, received information after the shooting that the shooter had authored several manifestos, one to his parents, one to the media, and one to federal agents. Portions of these manifestos detailed the shooter's disgusting ideology of hate. Plainly put, This shooting was racially motivated, and he hated black people. He wanted to kill niggers. That's the one and only time I'll use that word. I want to be very clear that there is absolutely no evidence that the shooter is part of any large group. We know that he acted completely alone. If you take a look at the images on the screen, you'll be able to see what he utilized. The weapons that the shooter used today are a Glock and an AR-15 style rifle. This is a dark day in Jacksonville's history. Any loss of life is tragic, but the hate that motivated the shooter's killing spree adds an additional layer of heartbreak. There's no place for hate in our community, and this is not Jacksonville. As a member of this Jacksonville community, I am sickened by this cowardly shooter's personal ideology of hate. Homicide detectives are actively investigating this tragedy, and despite the fact that the shooter is dead, they will continue to investigate this until we have a complete understanding of what happened and even why he did it.
Alright, Shalom. This is Arya, Yahawah, down here in the Lion's Den camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rachak, Wadash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder as well. A hard one, Yahawah, down here in the Lion's Den camp. And a sincere the water to the Akim, Dakwatim, and the children that are pushing the truth to believe it with sincerity. The series of videos that I put at the beginning of this video were all all the videos that I put in front of this video were all around the same time, and by that I mean Axe Handle Saturday happened. I'm doing this video right now at 3 a.m. so it happened on August 27th when it was on a Saturday years ago. I think it said 60 years ago. And I think that was done last year. And the reason why I put the interview with the older dude is because it's still it's still within our lifetime. It's still within the generation that is living today that those Edomites, who they call Caucasians or so-called white people, that those Edomites knocked off any dark-skinned, truly Israelite person that they saw. And also, Saturday, which was, according to, to this calendar, yesterday on Saturday, was also the anniversary of, which is the second video I played in there, was the anniversary of the Jacksonville landing shooting. All right, and then the last video that I put with the police, the police officer was talking about a shooting that happened today. According to this time, yesterday on Saturday, the anniversary of the Jacksonville shooting, but where a Edomite, so-called Caucasian, so-called white person, did another racially charged attack against our people. Okay, so it's all the timing of Yahawashi that these things are happening. All right, it's no coincidence that all these things happen different moments in time around the same time. So it's a beautiful, and it's also a scary thing to see the power of Yahawashi, because it lets us know how merciful he is unto us. All right, and how we should pray for more mercy in the times to come, when times that are going to get a lot more tumultuous. All right, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there shall serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." That's what's become of our people. They are scattered to the four corners of the earth, worshiping the cross or worshiping Allah, the dirty cobblestone over there. Verse 65, "And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and falling of eyes, and sorrow of mind." And everywhere our people are, they're always in a downtrodden position. And if they're not, It's because they've taken on the ways of Esau, okay, the upper elite ways of Esau, oppressing their people in the process of trying to get out of oppression, but not realizing that they're being oppressed more and more. Verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. That's the time that we're in right now. In Deuteronomy 28, these are the blessings and the cursings that our people are gonna Salakia, part of Deuteronomy chapter 28 are the blessings, as long as we go according to the law, statutes, and commandments, and the rest of it of chapter 28 of Deuteronomy is the cursings. And right now, what I just read is a curse that was going to befall our people. And it's a curse that is befalling our people right now, which is why we have all this all this calamity thrust onto us. But it's not for a vain sake. It's not for no reason. It's to better us. Verse 67. In the morning thou shalt say, oh no, you know what? Con. So that's all I wanted. But con, man, that's the state of our people right now. That's why we are in the state that we're in. All right, and Esau doesn't realize, because he's so lifted up in his pride that his kingdom is about to fall. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2 verse 9. It's like, yeah. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. This is who is this? Okay. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Con. So these things that are happening, this occurrence of this Dollar General store shooting being done by somebody with the hate for another nation, with one nation hating another nation, and also the same time with the Jacksonville landing shooting, and also at the same time with the axe handle shooting. It's all to it's all. I'm just gonna let the scripture speak. Slakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, and thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and that's what's happening, uproars of the people. Esau is walking around like a lion, seeking whom he may devour. And that's not just talking about these elite Edomites, but also these low-level Edomites that 2/3 is going to fight against. All right, and these upcoming Civil War Part 2. That is what is beginning to play out. This is a sign of the time that is passing. I'm gonna keep going. Verse 4. Hold on. Verse 4. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the Lord spoke all these things to happen from the beginning. He wanted this to play out the way it's playing out. The elder of the camp, something he said that I always take to heart, I always remember, is let time tell the story. And right now, time is telling the story. All right. Time is telling the story of Jacob. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites. That's the story that's being told with them, and the story also of Esau, so-called Caucasian, so-called white people. Their story is also being told as well. All right, but ultimately, the story of the glory of the kingdom of Yahawah Yahawashi is also being told as well. Verse 4. It's like verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end of Esau's rulership is manifest. The end of this place is manifesting right before our eyes. Verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, con. And right now we're seeing the ending of America in effects and signs. All right, con. So we are truly seeing the ending of this place, and that we are seeing the ending of this place. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm starting at verse 1. And Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians is a letter that Paul wrote to the Thessalonians, to that church. So it says, now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, so unto Yahawashi, that ye be not soon shaken in mind. So make sure our minds are stable, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of a Mashiach is at hand. Con, the day of Yahawashi coming out of the skies with the host of heaven, that day is at hand. Verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. Con. And the Lord said that if he cast Israel aside, that he shall also cast aside the sun, the moon, and the stars for their ordinances. And that hasn't happened. Okay, that has not happened. So neither has the casting away of Israel. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, and except there coming a falling away first, and that this man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that man of sin, that son of perdition, is Esau, as we clearly see. And on all three of these incidences in time were all done. I'll say just by the human eye, by Edomites. But looking into it spiritually, the first one, the axe handle Saturday, that was done with true malice and hatred towards the people. The second one, the Jacksonville landing shooting, he was also involved in some what's that stuff called? God dang it. He was also involved in some racial stuff too. They try to suppress that, but he really was. And also the third dude, he was an Edomite, and you know a tree by its fruits, and the fruit that he bear is he bare the sword of Esau that he was blessed with. He got an AR-15. He had a tactical vest. All right. They say the dude was young, but at the same time he was acting as if he was trained to do this. All right. And also the police chief on that video, he lied. He said that we have not yet identified the perpetrator. All right, they that's what he said. They haven't identified the culprit, but at the same time, they said that he wasn't affiliated with any group, or he acted completely alone. How do you know that about him if you don't even know who he is? And that word that he said, he had written multiple manifestos. This is the meaning of that word, manifesto. A public declaration of policy and aims, especially one issued before an election by a political party or political candidate. So what political party or what political candidate was this individual a part of? All right. And the same thing with Axe Handle Saturday. We all know clearly, flat out, in those times that those individuals were some way and somehow affiliated with the KKK. The Jacksonville shooting, I don't know for sure what affiliation he had. I just know that he had some type of affiliation with some type of group, What group that is, I don't know. And with this dude, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that he was a part of the Klan. I mean, the Nazi swastikas on the on his sword that he had, that's a dead giveaway. But I'm gonna keep going. Son of perdition. So Esau being that son of perdition. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahawah, God. Right there will be power. Or that is worship, so that he is God. I'll read it verbatim. Verse 4, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he is God, and sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And these Edomites, these people who we have to pay bills to, these individuals and corporations who we have to render our taxes unto, these people and these corporations who we have to deal with on a daily basis, always oppressing us with their silly laws and silly rules. All right, all of these people are not God. All of these people are not God. Okay, they are not God. Slakia. All right, they are just men. All right, it's a scripture. Hold on, let me look for it. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 3. It says, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses are flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is holpen shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. These American elites are not Egyptians, but they are empowered the same as the Egyptians were in those times. So these Egyptians right here you can also put in anyone who is oppressing. All right, and the people that are oppressing Israel right now aren't Egyptians, but they're Esau. All right, that's son of perdition. That was in 2 Thessalonians. I'm gonna go ahead and read Isaiah 31, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Our people are so hurt. Our people are always so hurt. Our people are always so devastated when these things in our community happen, but yet they wanna egg on and push the whole music thing that's in our community, the whole rap hip hop that's just filled with the degradation and sodomy and adultery. All right. And no one truly seeks the Lord. Everyone that is a so-called leader in the so-called black community and Israelite community, they always come with Jesus Christos. Okay. Verse 2 of Isaiah chapter 31, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, and will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. All right. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. So these people in power are not gods. All right. The scriptures say that we are gods. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who are the Israelites. All right, he said that we are gods, but we shall die like men. That's why we're in this poor condition right now, because we're in this poor state right now because we went away from the law, statutes, commandments of Yahawashi. I'm gonna go back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 5. It says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now ye know that withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. It takes time to tell these stories. All right, he will be revealed, that he might be revealed in his time. And right now we are in the time of revelation. Right now we are in the time of revealing. Right now it's being revealed that man of sin is, that son of perdition is Esau, so-called Caucasians in this carnal realm. They are the spiritual workers, the carnal spiritual vessels for wickedness upon the face of the earth. Just a cancerous darkness, a cancer and a darkness upon the face of the world. Remember these things, verse revealed in his time. Verse 7, it says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Esau needs to be taken out of the way. I went to a spring a few days ago, and it was glorious. It was truly beautiful to see something the Lord made, to see the Lord make a hole out of the ground that shoots up water. And they recorded it, and it shoots up 65 million gallons of fresh, pure water a day. And there were beautiful schools of fish, big, beautiful fish. There were signs that said no fishing. It was a nice little vibe. It was a lot of butterflies. There was a lot of Issacharites out there. But when you first pulled up on it, there was a little woman in a booth, and she was like, "Hey, $12 a person." And it was like, man, how can anybody charge someone to come see something that the Lord made? Like, that's just, like, Esau has to be put out of the way. All right. Verse 8, it says, then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Khan. Esau is going to be destroyed with the brightness of the coming of Yahawashi. Even him whose coming, Salakia, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Khan. All right. So all these power, all the power and the signs and lying wonders that Esau has, like this AI technology, these androids, these jetpacks with gun turrets on their back, all these lying wonders, all right, that Esau has, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Khan, it's not meant for Esau. It's not meant for 2/3 of our people as well. It's not meant for 2/3 of our people to I don't know whether that was a comet or a chariot, but it was beautiful. Kind of lost my train of thought. Esau being wicked, the lying wonders, Khan, and all deceivableness, that they might be saved, is not meant for 2/3 of our people to be saved as well, because 2/3 of our people who follow, who follow in the footsteps of these Edomites are also going to be destroyed as well. Verse 11, and for this cause Yahawah shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. All right. And Esau's lie in his head is that he is God. And the lie in 2/3 head is whatever Esau tells them. Or we shall overcome. Or I don't know, whatever other Negro spirituals our people be chanting during the times of civil rights. Like, honestly. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth and had pleasure in unrighteousness. Khan, they believed not the truth and had pleasure in unrighteousness. Rather than our people I just had a conversation about this with a lady a few days ago. She thought she thought me foolish to say that, civil rights, the whole civil rights movement was foolish. And she was like, what's so foolish about wanting better quality stuff? And I was like, it would have been no thing for our people to come together, to come together in the right spirit, to do their own thing. All right, but even in the midst of me saying that, it was also that is part of the curses that our people have to endure this. They have to go to the wicked for the one of all things. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Con. And that's what our people have put around their neck by going against the law, statutes, commandments, and not believing in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. So sadly, it had to happen. But I was just letting her know that wasn't the right spirit to be in. All right, let me get back. So back to 2 Thessalonians. It's like it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 13. All right. It says, but we are bound to give thanks always to Yahawah for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Yahawah hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. Con. And that part where it says, beloved, because Yahawah hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of spirit. There is nothing that we as mere mortals, as we mere individuals did that caught the eye of Yahawah. There's nothing that we did here on earth that he was like, man, that dude right there just, saved a whole bunch of people. I'm going to pull him out of the world and have him do something for me. That's what the carnal-minded individual would think. Somebody that has free will, or they think that they've done something to catch the eye of the Lord. But really, going back to the scripture, verse 13. But we are bound to give thanks to Yahawah. Give thanks always to Yahawah for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Yahawah hath from the beginning chose you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. So we were chosen to always, through all different time periods, believe in the power of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi and have faith in the power of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. Verse 14, whereunto he called you by our gospel to the obtaining of the glory of the Lord Yahawashi Mashiach. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught, whether by word or by our epistle. So we have to, we do our best to the best of our ability to keep the word of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, whether it was by reading it, whether it's by being raised by it, whether it was by hearing somebody on the street teach it. All right, keep our traditions. The Feast of Trumpet and the Day of Atonement just passed. So, call halayim la Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, that we're able to have knowledge of ourself, of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, to keep our traditions. All right, to have that place of refuge. Verse 16. Now our Lord Yahawashi Hamashiach himself, and Yahawah, even our Father, which hath loved us and hath given us everlasting consultation and good hope through grace. So that's what we have. All right. All of this pain, all of this heartache, all of this is not not for vain. If you do it for a vain sake, then it will be for vain sake. But being a prisoner of hope, being a prisoner of faith to Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, believing in that power, that same power that Moses came in to take the Israelites out of Egypt, to that same power that Samson was in to overthrow thousands of men, that same power, Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. Verse 17, comfort your hearts and establish you in every good word and work. We have to make sure that we walk the walk and talk the talk. Make sure we're analyzing ourselves. Make sure that we are standing fast. So that way, when we come to others, they stand fast in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. All right. All right, this is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Con. And our people are being targeted because our people have trusted. Well, I say 2/3 of our people have trusted the enemy. All right, Esau, the wicked. Our people who are meant to be righteous and meant to be going with the harmony and the flow of Yahawashi and with the earth and with time and with the ordinances and everything. All right, they're going against the grain. They're going with the carnality. They're going with the spirit of darkness. All right. And those enemies, not only, well, I'll say for those, doing their best and ability to follow the Lord, the Spirit of Yahweh, to follow the Spirit of Yahweh Shah truthfully and sincerity, those enemies are not only Edomites or these heathen nations, but these enemies are also Israelites, people whom we call co-workers, people whom we call friends, people whom we call family members. All right, if they're not coming in the spirit of Yahweh Shah, they're actually against us. You might have some who are pretty cool. You might have some who take in consideration your diet, and they say, let's not get a pepperoni pizza because we know old boy don't eat pork, so let's try to be cool for him. That's all well and cool, but at the same time, we know that in a moment, the Lord can use that individual to try us, or use that individual for us to be tried, as in to teach that person, maybe in the time of Jacob's trouble, heal that person, help that person, or anybody around us. I'm kind of rambling, Slakia. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 11. "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed," Khan, because our people have forgotten the wickedness of Esau, and right now Esau is crouching. But it's like, I'm gonna go ahead. "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him, as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away." Khan, Esau comes to you, rather than Esau coming to us and saying, "Hey nigger," or "Hey boy." Now they say, when we try to go have a fun time, they say, "Hey, noise ordinance," or they'll say, "Hey, you can't wear those shoes here, or you can't wear that shirt here, or you can't wear that jewelry here." Knowing how our people are, they use smooth words and different type of speech with different angles to attack our people. Wiped away. So our people have trusted their enemy, and they don't see the rust on Esau, and our people don't see the rust. Our people know the rust on America as a nation, but they don't know the rust on the people who run America, this nation. Verse 12, "Set him not by thee." And that's what our people did, and that's what I was trying to say to that sister. This scripture wasn't in mind, but our people sat right next to Esau. Our people weren't satisfied with having their own restaurants, and and they weren't satisfied with what they had. That's why I don't know if the video said it, but no, matter of fact, it was a different video. But this one Jake was like, I remember, they had a water fountain for, so-called Negroes, and they had a water fountain for the so-called whites. And he said every time he walked past the white water fountain, it would look so much prettier to him. He was like, I wanna drink out of that fountain. All right, but rather you be rich or poor, free or bond, have a good heart unto the Lord. All right, and our people were in that lower state, and rather than being happy, they happy they were there with the Spirit of the Lord, they focused on the carnality of it and was like, we want better things. And they sat right next to Esau. They sat right next to the wicked. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last, remember my words and be pricked therewith. All right. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? All right. So who's going to pity a charmer that's playing around with snakes all the time, actually gets killed by a snake? I don't want to, disrespect the dead, but Steve Irwin, he was around a whole bunch of wild animals, so it's not really surprising that he got killed by an animal that he was around. And just so happens that he was killed by an animal that's normally harmless, So it's all the timing of the Lord, Yahawashi, the telling of the story. Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? So when you hang, birds of a feather flock together. So, not saying you have to be holier than thou and be like, nah, I can't hang with y'all, y'all not being right. But if you find yourself believing onto the same philosophies and living the same lifestyle that a sinner is living, you can't help but be like, well, damn, this is the judgment from Yahawashi for this sinful lifestyle. Verse 15, for while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. And that's not, like I said, that's not only going for Esau, that's also going for 2/3 of our people as well. Because 2/3 of our people have been beguiled by the spirit of wickedness, of darkness, and think that dark is light. All right, so I pray this lesson was edifying, and shalom.